Hey y'all, welcome back to Krista's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to make some easy mushroom pork chops. We're taking these pork sirloin chops and going to sear them, season them up, and then with what's left in the pan, we're going to add some mushrooms, some cream, and make this really yummy sauce that we're going to put over some mashed potatoes and things. Very easy, not a whole lot of work to it, but super yummy, super creamy. And it gives us some break from the beef and the chicken and just to switch things up a little bit. But I'm going to move you a little bit closer and show y'all how we do it. Okay y'all, so in our pan, now this is just a rock crock from Pampered Chef, but you can use a cast iron skillet. Really, you can use any kind of skillet, but if you have a rock crock or a cast iron, that's what I would recommend. But you have a couple tablespoons of olive oil and a couple tablespoons of butter down in the bottom of our pan. We have it nice and hot. We're going to start laying our pork chops down, and I don't want to move them. So whenever you take your pork chops out of the package, pat them dry. You want them super dry, and that way it'll help you get that nice crust and get your seasonings to stick. Now you see with the small size of this pan, I'm only going to be able to fit 2 in at a time. But patted them dry, sprinkled them with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then added a little paprika and Italian seasoning, and that is it. Now if you want exact measurements, maybe like I'd say like half a teaspoon per chop, depending on how large yours are. These are like the sirloin chops, so they're kind of like little mini steaks, so they're going to be a little bit different. But the reason I love the rock crock or even a cast iron, it keeps the temperature really well, and it helps you get that good like crust on the outside. Now mine, I think I laid them down a little bit early because you see it didn't give that sizzle and sear. Plus I also have quite a bit of butter in there. But especially with the last one, it's going to create that sear, that texture that you really want, the texture difference that we're going to get. But about 4 or 5 minutes on each side, and once we get all of them cooked, I'll bring y'all back and we'll show y'all how we move on to the next step. But our pork chops are cooking away, and we'll see y'all back soon. So we're going to move our pork chops over to the plate with the oven, and we're going to leave all of this down in the bottom. We're going to toss in our mushrooms now. Now I'm using a mix of button mushrooms and baby bellas. So this is 2 packs of mushrooms that I've washed and sliced. We love mushrooms, so that's why there's so many. If you don't, then cut it in half or just cut them out, however you like. But we're going to cook these down, let them brown up, and then we'll toss in our garlic and the rest of our ingredients. And get all those flavors up off the bottom. I like the button mushrooms because they are so versatile and they're cheap. And the baby bellas just are a little bit more sturdy and a little bit richer flavor. So I like mixing them up. Okay y'all, So we're gonna add in our garlic, and y'all know I like garlic, so this is a whole bulb of garlic that just minced up, and y'all are gonna see some of the larger pieces because I used my mincer, and I don't know, that thing just always leaves big chunks. But in they go, and I'm gonna let this cook for about a minute. You can use the pre-minced garlic. I do it all the time, but I just had a bulb of garlic, and I figured I'd use my fresh stuff while I have it. And that's what this is. It's a big old piece of garlic. It's going to be yummy once it kind of melts into that, though. I'm going to let it cook for a minute, and then after that, we're adding in a cup of chicken broth and 3 cups of heavy cream. And we're going to use that to really make our sauce, and it's going to make that creamy, very rich, deep sauce mixed with all of what we just got off the bottom of this pan, those mushrooms. It's going to be so yummy. Okay, y'all. So in our liquid goes. I'm just going to mix this around. It won't take very long in this pan, especially to heat up. But once we get a little bit of a simmer boil, we're going to add in a cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, I see my bag and it looks like I don't have quite a cup, but it will still, it'll still do just fine. But we just want this to heat up, and then we're going to let it thicken just slightly. We don't want it to get too thick. So our sauce is thickened. Now we need to add in, and you see, I'm not talking super thick, just slightly thickened so that it's not super, super like water thin. Now we're going to add in our cup of Parmesan cheese. Like I said, I've already used this, so it's a little bit less than a cup in my bag, but it'll be all right. I'm going to just stir this around. I'm going to add in, I add our pork chops back in just to kind of heat them back up. Turn our stovetop off. That Parmesan cheese, y'all see, it takes no time at all to melt into that, like almost instantly. Okay. We're going to put our pork chops back down in here. Let them sit for just a minute to heat back up. And then we'll get everything plated up. But as simple as that, you got a yummy mushroom gravy. We'll see y'all back in about 2 or 3 minutes. And it probably won't even take that long, but just to let those soak in some of that that juice, but mostly just to rewarm them. So I'll see y'all back in a few minutes once we have it all plated up. So dinner's all ready. We just left the pork chops in that mushroom gravy just for a few minutes to soak up some of that juice, but mostly just to reheat them so they'll be warmed back up. Very simple, easy to do, and so yummy. Paired it with some mashed potatoes. You could put it alongside some rice, whichever is your preference, and just soak all of that gravy and yumminess up. But hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and thank y'all for sticking around and hanging out with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more of our content, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye. Large pork sirloin, let's start that over. Pork sirloin chops.